I did a couple videos of some Cort guitars and they went over really well. So the Cort guys sent out another one. So I thought, well, we'll check it out. And this time when they were talking about Guitars Ascend, I thought it'd be really cool to send out something different than last time and even different than you normally see on the channel. And this is what they sent. This is the X500 Menace. And obviously it's called the Menace because it's obviously made for metal, definitely doing something more aggressive, but it is loaded with features. And I'm gonna go over the features and then we'll check the quality of the guitar, talk about how it sounds, show you how it sounds. The guitar is a neck through construction. First right there, I have a bunch of notes here. I don't want to lose them. Give me a second. So this is a neck through guitar. What it is maple, Purple Heart, and Pango Panga. Sorry, not Pango, Pango Panga. So it's a Panga with 2 Purple Heart strips and then of course the maple. And it's a neck through construction, so it's all the way from the top to the bottom. The wings are mahogany and it actually has a maple cap, a real one, even though it's all satin finish and you don't get to see any of that. The fretboard is ebony and it's a really decent slab in ebony too, I have to admit. And then of course you have jumbo frets, which are highly polished. You have a Floyd Rose 1000 bridge, which is the mid-price Floyd Rose and one of the ones I like a lot. 2 Seymour Duncan pickups. You have the Nazgul and the Syntient. The Nazgul is in the bridge and the Syntient in the neck. You have a volume and a tone control. They're basic alpha pots. And then you have a 3-way switch, again, very basic. No coil splitting on this guitar, but I'm sure the pickups have 5 wires and you can wire in a coil split if you'd like. This one seems to definitely go after the Keeley look. I know you're probably thinking Ibanez, but definitely with this bevel carve here, this is more of the Keeley vibe. So this guitar is going after the high-end kind of Keeley, kind of Ibanez market. This is made in Indonesia and it prices about $849, and that's as of looking at it today when I'm filming the video. That's what I was finding the retail, the street price on Reverb for. Of course, if you know your local dealer, you could probably score a deal. Cort, of course, builds guitars from everybody from Paul Reed Smith to Ibanez to you name it. Cort built guitars for those good companies. And so they obviously are trying to put in a lot of features in a guitar, do a lot of hand finish work, put it out, very kind of polished product, and hit a price point that's on par with the guitars they're already making. If you look at out in the market, $850 isn't so much that it's cheap comparatively to what's out there for $850, it's just it has more features. It's more for someone who's not focused on the brand, but focused on those features. Instead of buying an SE PRS and then loading in better pickups and maybe loading in a better bridge, they're just going ahead and doing that for you right now. And of course, increasing the quality of the, like I said, the neck through design versus a set neck or a bolt-on. It has 24 frets, which I said were jumbo, but it's a 25.5-inch scale, which is pretty standard on a guitar like this. The other thing that's interesting is it's a compound radius fretboard. So it starts out as 12, so pretty flat, goes to 16, even flatter, designed specifically to give you kind of more of a comfortable chording on the neck, on the 5th fret area to the 1st fret, better for the chords. And then up here around the 12th fret and above, you're gonna get a lot flatter, lets the action get down a little lower. I don't know if they're setting these guitars up before they're shipping them out to you, but the guitar shipped to me has detailed polished fret ends, detailed frets with no high spots, and a really decent setup out of the box. So, as I always state, if I'm getting it that way, you should get it that way too. So if you buy one of these and you don't get that kind of service with this guitar, you're not getting that out of the box, make a notation or at least a comment down below. It lets me know because like I said, I can't control when a company sends a guitar, if they do a setup or not. This one doesn't appear to have had any extra work done to it. The box that came was pretty standard from a factory. It wasn't from like a marketing department or anything like that. Sometimes you can tell when a company's putting a little extra love on the guitar. This one doesn't scream that, but that doesn't mean anything. Like I said, if I didn't purchase it myself, I don't have control of how it got to me. So that's why I always make that disclaimer. Now, of course, the finish on this is satin, and that means that it's going to get buffed and kind of messed up. And I think that's the appeal of this guitar. This is for someone who's looking for the playing ability of the guitar and looking for that look to not be so polished, over the top, fancy. This is a metal guitar. I'm running my Engl Fireball 25 into a 412 cabinet with vintage 30s, mic'd with an SM57 mic on it. I'm running a Keeley's Caverns delay in the effects loop, just a little bit of delay to get the atmosphere going. And I'm gonna give it a go and show you what it's got. Here we go. So now I have the Engl on the clean channel and I'm running just a little reverb through the effects loop. We are on the test bench, so let's look at this guitar in detail. The first thing we're gonna do is see what the strings are that they shipped it with. The website says it's 9 to 42, 42 gauge right here, 9 gauge right there. So it is 9 to 42. Let's check out the action. We're gonna measure off the 12th fret. It looks like 1.75 millimeters right there off the 12th fret on the low E string, and then on the high E string, about 1.5. Pretty good. Not bad. We have no high frets whatsoever, so there's no dead spots, which is good. Something players may not like is this guitar has no fret dots or markers on the fretboard itself. Some players like that, some players don't. Now it's time for the fret sock test. And there you go. We have a little bit of marks on there. Again, these are very light marks, as you can see in the light. Just a little bit of snagging, but again, you can see, I'll show you in a second. Let's do this side. Okay. And again, same thing. Very light marks. Frets feel really good and polished, highly detailed. Very light marks, if anything, on the nylon sock. And then here is some of those frets on the ends. You can see they are really, really nice. Again, very polished over on both sides. So, very nice. Since these are stock Seymour Duncans, we should already know what they're at, but let's go ahead and test them anyway. We have the bridge at 14.5, let's say 5.5. Going to that neck pickup. Wow, big difference, 7.73K. So again, much hotter bridge than neck. So what we have here is the routed cavity for the Floyd Rose. Interesting enough, they decided to put the springs in the V pattern. I've seen it every way over the years. My preference, I don't really angle them for me, but I noticed people have done it, manufacturers have done it, professional players have done it. So again, it's up to you. Let you guys argue that in the comments. All I care about is that the route looks really nice and clean, and the bridge and everything, the claw looks like it was put together very nicely. Again, very, very nice finish work. Electronics wise, we have exactly what I was talking about earlier. 2 mini alpha pots, a blade switch, which is the PC base switch. Nothing exciting in here. So it has been painted with shielding paint. It doesn't look like it was really layered on really thick. However, we can test this shielding paint to see if they did a good job. Let's go ahead and find to see if it makes contact. And again, you can see through the multimeter it is. And again, you're just trying to see. Now, if they didn't do it as well, sorry about that, let you guys see that. If they didn't do it as well, it won't rate as high, but hey, at this point, we just want to make sure it's working. There it is. So very consistent. Like I said, we're getting contact from point to point. Note they're using the football style plate, the oval plate, and a standard output jack. Nothing fancy, not a switchcraft and not a barrel jack. So what we're gonna do now is measure the width at the nut, which is 43.8 millimeters. At the 12th fret, we are at 53.33 millimeters. At the 1st fret, we are sitting at 20.3 millimeters. And at the 12th fret, we're at 21.98 millimeters, pretty much 22 millimeters. Now the neck carve, the shape of the back of the neck, is flat. It's U. It's definitely not a C shape. When we compare it to a 62 Strat template, which is the closest that's gonna fit on this, you can see it's wider than the Strat would be. And you can see by looking at this template how this is still a kind of a flat. The 62 Strat's pretty flat, but this is much flatter and thinner. That also goes to the first fret. Again, this neck is much flatter, more like the thin Schecter style guitars, not as thin as the Wizard necks. Like I said, look at the measurements. The neck carve is definitely a U shape, not so much a C shape. I like the neck shape. I like the feel of the guitar. The look is up to you. I actually dig this. It's kind of dark and sinister looking. The fit and finish, again, I liked a lot. The quality of the components are really good. The only issue I have is maybe the price point, $850. Seems like a lot. I think this guitar is marketed to someone who's looking for quality with more of an insurance without taking that kind of let's order online and see how it goes kind of attitude. And they know they're willing to pay a little bit for it, but also they're not going to have to pay as much if it had a brand name, even if it came out of the same factory as this. I'd like to thank the Cort guys for sending out this guitar. Of course, I do tons of reviews where I buy the guitars and review them that way, and of course, companies send guitars. And to be honest with you, without support of you guys watching these videos or companies sending out guitars, there's just no way I can make this many videos. And so I want to thank everyone for the opportunity to do that. As always, I want to thank you guys hanging out to the end of the video. That's what supports the channel more than anything else, is you watching the video. I appreciate that. And as always, thank you so much for your time. Till the next time, know your gear. Now, since a lot of the guitars that I do videos of on this channel go back, I decided to start doing this thing. I thought it was funny. I added a Know Your Gear sticker, my signature, and the date. So if anyone ever gets this guitar, look underneath your guitar. And if you have this, so you know, this is not permanently stuck on it in a way that can't be removed. In other words, there's nothing, see, nothing that way. So it won't damage the guitar in any way. And if the manufacturer takes the sticker off, there's nothing I can do about it. But I thought it'd be fun to do that. So if you ever get one of these, look underneath this plate. If you see my name, this was in this video.